Yo, yo, what's going on? What's good? So I got an email from a subscriber, and this one says, the last few guys who have asked for my phone number have ghosted me. So now at this point, I'm thinking it's me, and I know it's not my personality. Guys usually ghost me before they even get to know me. For instance, I'll meet them in a bar or at a party, and they'll come up to me, flirt with me, and then ask for my number, but then never end up using it. This happens way too often, so I'm thinking either my vibe is off or my looks were strong enough to make them excited to want to call me. So do you have any advice on the types of hairstyles and outfits men like to see on women, and what would be an example of a feminine woman and a more masculine woman? Even if you could do a video on the types of mannerisms and styles men consider really feminine as well. Thanks for reading. This could really use your advice. All right. So basically, you're saying, okay, dude just saying, hey, let me get your number. They get it, and then you don't hear from them. You understand? I wouldn't necessarily call this ghosting, you know what I'm saying? Because you haven't really, ghosting is more like, y'all been dating, y'all been seeing each other, and he just disappears all of a sudden. He's nowhere to be found. But basically what you're saying is that, you give some guys your number, and then they don't hit you up, which is normal. You understand what I'm saying? That's something that's going to happen regardless. There's going to be guys who get your number and then just don't hit you up because either they were just not really feeling you anymore after they got the number. They're like, she's okay, whatever. Or some guys, they'll get the number and they just feel good about getting a number, but they're not really going to follow through because they're just not going to follow through. Or you might talk to some guys who get numbers all the time and they got a bunch of numbers, and it's just like, you get lost in the crowd. You see what I'm saying? So there's a few reasons why that's going to happen. You know what I mean? Now, the thing is I'm interested in knowing how many times has this actually happened. You understand what I'm saying? Because that sounds kind of strange that this would be like a regular occurrence if, let's say, like the past 50 guys you gave your number to, none of them called you. That just sounds strange. So I'm wondering how many times has this happened. I'm wondering, what's the situation with other guys who have called you? Like, what's the ratio between guys who are calling you and who are not calling you? Because see, if you're saying like the last 3 or 4 guys that you gave your number to didn't call you, that's not really a lot of guys. You understand? Now, if you said the last 50 guys you gave and all of them didn't call you, then I'd be like, okay, something's going on here. You understand what I'm saying? But if it's the last 3 or 4 guys, it's normal. That's okay. That's going to happen. You understand? This game is a numbers game. So you can give your number out to different guys, and some guys are going to call you, some guys are not going to call you. Now, also, I don't think you necessarily said this in this email, but I was wondering, if a guy did call you, because this is what could happen also too. But you didn't say that these guys called you, but this could be a situation where a guy does call you or interacts with you. You understand, and you might have said something or implied something that made him think that getting sex from you or getting sex to happen is going to be a struggle. Now, you could have also said this while y'all were talking to each other. So he still got your number, but there was something you could have probably said in the conversation that made him feel as if, right, it's going to be a struggle to have sex with you. Meaning, for example, let's say you were talking to this guy and y'all going back and forth. And he was like, yeah, well, we should get together and hang out sometime and hook up. Right. And then he was like, let me get your number. And then you give him the number and you'd be like, oh, but by the way, I'm not really like the type of girl that likes to just hook up, but we could like, hang out and get to know each other. And he's like, all right, cool. And he just walks away and he's thinking, man, I ain't calling this chick. You understand? Like she talking about she want to get to know me and go out on a bunch of dates, man. Fuck that. You understand what I'm saying? So that could also happen. So I'm wondering, did you say anything that implied that it's going to take him a few dates or a while to have sex with you before you gave him the number, or while you was giving him the number? You see what I'm saying? Because that could also be a thing. And like I was saying earlier, is that sometimes that happens once a guy calls a girl or texts a girl, that could also be implied, which will make him not want to text you again. But you didn't necessarily say that in this email, but I was just wanting to point that out. So and you were also asking, you were saying like, wondering if your vibe is off, or your looks, if it's specific to your looks. Well, the thing is, if they approached you and they was trying to get your number, they're attracted to you. You understand what I'm saying? At that moment, the vibe being off, again, that could just be something you said, like I was saying earlier about, it being a struggle of, trying to get sex from you. You see what I'm saying? But I don't think it's necessarily like your hairstyle, your outfit, or anything that you got to necessarily change like that. Because if they're approaching you and talking to you, that means that whatever you have going physically is working to attract the guys to you. So what I'm saying is, again, it could just be you saying something in the conversation, or it could just be the fact that some of these guys are just not going to hit you up, which is normal. But again, I would love to know the actual number of times this happened. Because if this was like twice or 3 times or like 4 times, that's normal. You understand? But if it's like 50 or the last 80 guys that you gave your number to and none of them was calling you back, which sounds kind of crazy, which I don't think is really a thing that's going to happen. Then, you just got to understand it's a numbers game. So I would just love to know what the specific numbers is. But again, you just understand that there are going to be some guys who are going to hit you up and some guys who are not at the end of the day. Don't worry too much about it. You feel what I'm saying? And just, keep interacting with these guys. Keep flirting. And when you're flirting, make sure that you're not making it seem as if you're going to be uncooperative, or you're going to be the type of woman who's going to play games or whatever it is like that, because that could impact whether or not a guy's going to, call you back. All right. So that's pretty much it. Listen, if you ladies have any more questions, click the link below and I'll holler at you later. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. I'm gone. Now, before you turn off this video, I want you to do 2 quick things. 1, I want you to click the link below and send me your questions. If you have any questions on dating and relationships, I'll make a video about it. And 2, I want you to click the link under that to get my free audio program, 7 highly effective steps for finding and keeping a man. And I'll talk to you guys later. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. I'm gone.